Şerik şerik yenten Şeyin rikbi yenten
Dashin lok chu tulu Meta maybe norbo Shirik yenten ino Dashin lok chu tulu Meta maybe norbo Shirik yenten ino
Kuzuzangpo La to all the listeners across the country. This is Doji Dolma from Jimina Primary School. This radio program is to reach to all the children across the nation. The lesson for today is for Class 2, Volume 5, Subject Mathematics, on the topic Reading Time. I repeat, Reading Time. Today we are going to learn mainly two things, that is to 1. Read time on analog and digital clocks, and then to write time in digital clock format. Well, children, please open your sim book page 11 and be ready to listen and write when told. As you have learned about time in the previous class also, in hours only, but this time you will learn to use minutes too. Alright, children, let's begin our lesson then. First of all, let's go through the introduction. It says, a clock is an instrument that measures and shows time. I repeat, a clock is an instrument that measures and shows time. There are two types of clocks, that is, analog clocks and digital clocks. Now let us look at the reading of time on analog clock. Always remember the shorthand tells the hours. I repeat, the shorthand tells the hours and the longer hand tells the minutes. The minute hand tells us how much time has passed after the hour. While telling time, we always look at the hour hand first and then the minutes. And also remember, there are 60 minutes in 1 hour. I repeat, there are 60 minutes in 1 hour. So, look at example 1. The hour hand, that is the short one, is pointing at 7. And the longer hand, that is the minutes, is pointing at 12. So, it is 7 o'clock. Now, look at example 2. Where is the hour hand pointing at? Can you look at the clock? Yes, it's halfway between 7 and 8. So, is it 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock? Yes, you are right. It's 7 o'clock. As it is not pointing at 8 o'clock. So, it will only be 8 o'clock when the hour hand points at 8. Now, where is the minute hand pointing at? Can you look at the minute hand? That is the longer hand. Right, it's pointing at 6. So, when we say the time is 7 and 6 minutes, I know you might be tempted to say yes, but that is not correct. Each one of these increments are counted by 5s. I repeat, each one of these increments are counted by 5s. So, there are 5 minutes between each one of these big numbers. So, when the minute hand is at 6, we have to count by 5s from 1 to 6. Let us count. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 30 minutes. So the time is 7:30 because the hour is 7, and after counting by 5s, we see the minute hand is pointing to 30 minutes. So we can write the time as 7:30 or 30 minutes past 7 o'clock or 30 minutes to 8 o'clock. Why 30 minutes to 8 o'clock? Because if the minute hand moves 30 minutes forward, then it will be 8 o'clock. Remember, half of 60 is 30. Half of 60 is 30. Now look at example 3. Here you can see the time written as 7:45 or 15 minutes to 8 o'clock. Always remember, quarter means 1/4. So 1/4 of 60 minutes is 15 minutes. I repeat, 1/4 or the quarter of 60 minutes is 15 minutes. Therefore, if you count from 9 to 12, as the minute hand is pointing at 9, then you will get 15 minutes. That's 5, 10, 15. So 15 minutes. That means 15 minutes to 8 o'clock. Or if the minute hand moves 15 minutes forward, it will be 8 o'clock. Now look at example 4. When telling time, we always look at the hour hand first. On this clock, the hour hand is pointing little away from 7. Can you look at the clock once more? Can you see that the hour hand is little away from 7? Now let's look at the minute hand. It's pointing at 3. That means 5, 10, 15. 15 minutes. So we write the time as 7:15 or 15 minutes past 7 o'clock. Now please turn to next page, that is page number 12. The instruction says reading time on digital clock. I repeat, reading time on digital clock. Remember, a digital clock is made up of two numbers separated by a colon. I repeat, a digital clock is made up of two numbers separated by a colon. The two dots between the numbers are called as colon. The first number on the digital clock marks the hour. I repeat, the first number on the digital clock marks the hour. For example, the first number in the first example is 7. So the time is 7 o'clock. Now look at example 2. The first number reads 7. That means it's 7 o'clock. The second number on a digital clock found after the colon marks the minutes. It reads 15 or 15 minutes. So together we read it as 7:15 or 15 minutes past 7 o'clock. Now can you look at example 3? The time given is 7:30 or 30 minutes past 7 o'clock. Now look at example 4. The first number reads 7. So it's 7 o'clock. The second number on a digital clock found after the colon marks the minutes. It reads 45 or 45 minutes. So together we read it as 7:45. I repeat, 7:45 or 15 minutes to 8 o'clock. Why 15 minutes to 8 o'clock? Because if it goes on till 15, that means it will become 60 minutes. So that means it will be 8 o'clock. Now I hope you have understood how to read the time on analog and digital clocks. Now look at activity 1. The instruction says write the time shown on the clocks. So here you are to write the time shown on the clock. The first one is done for you. Question A. The hour hand is halfway between 2 and 3, and the minute hand is at 6, that is 30 minutes. So the time for this clock is 30 minutes past 2 o'clock. Now can you please write the time for the other two clocks? Okay, are you all done, children? That's great. You can check your answers given at the end of this lesson later on. Now look at activity 2. The instruction says write the time described below in digital clock format. I repeat, in digital clock format. The first one is done for you. That is for question number A. 10 o'clock. In digital, we write it as 10:30. I repeat, 10:30. Now question B. 2:45. Write in digital form. Now question C. 6 o'clock. I repeat, 6 o'clock. Now write in digital form. Now question D. 7:15 o'clock. I repeat, 7:15 o'clock. Now write in digital form. Okay, now hope you all have finished answering the questions, that is to write in digital form. Now please turn to next page. There is another activity as self-check for learning. This activity is for you to check your learning. So try it yourself and check your answers given at the end of this lesson. The instruction says draw the two clocks. I repeat, you have to draw two clocks given below showing 20 minutes past 6 o'clock. I repeat, 20 minutes past 6 o'clock. You can check your answers later given at the end of this lesson. Well, children, let us all recall what you have learned today. Today, you learned about two types of clocks. Then you learned to read the time on analog clock as well as on digital clocks. So, hope you have understood today's lesson and will be able to read the time correctly. Thank you for listening. We'll continue in the next lesson. Till then, stay home, stay safe, stay clean, and please keep washing your hands. Bye-bye, children.
Şerik şerik yenten Şeyin rikbi yenten
Dashin lop tu tulu Beta me binurbu Chiri genten ino Dashin lop tu tulu Beta me binurbu Chiri genten